Landowners who lost their property in the wake of the construction of the Oyo-Ogbomoso expressway have now accused the federal government of refusing to pay about 2.8 billion naira balance of compensation due to them. The landowners who gathered at Gambari community along Ogbomoso expressed their frustration at being treated unfairly 11 years after they watched their belongings demolished. Oyo-Ogbomoso reports.
The 52-kilometer Oyo-Ogbomoso road was initially approved in 2010 and finally reapproved by the Federal Executive Council in 2020. After the first approval of the road in 2010, houses and farmlands were demolished, while others were marked for demolition. These property owners have gathered in their numbers to remind the federal government that they have not received their own share of the compensation which they were promised.
We are gathered here today to express our displeasure to the attitude of the federal government of Nigeria through its Federal Ministry of Works and Housing for not paying us compensation for the portion of structure and crops that were affected by the dualization exercise of Oyo-Ogbomoso road construction.
My church is affected, and since all these years we have been in trouble here and there, no solution to it. The government is not of help, and that is why we play. This time, just to remember us.
They also demanded an upward review of their payment as building materials are now traced their value from the time they were pulled down.
What we are even thinking is a kind of upward review of the compensation. If we consider it, it's really even a cheat on our own part. Some people collected their own when a bag of cement was 1,200, 1,300, 2,000, and the bag of cement is now 4,400.
The landed properties for my brother, and he's not around. That is why I'm standing in for him. There have been some structures on the land. He wanted to complete the structures, but unfortunately when the structures were marked, he had to abandon it, waiting that if the compensation is paid, he will use the compensation for another project. All along, in fact, those of us in the house, he thought we have taken the money and we have spent it.
The Federal Ministry of Works says it will respond to the issues in due course. Oyo-Ogbomoso, TVC News, Gambari.
We can get the response now. Controller of Works, Federal Minister of Works and Housing, Oyo State, Ibrahim, joins me to shed more insight on the Oyo-Ogbomoso property owners' protest over unpaid compensation. Mr. Ibrahim, thank you for joining us on the news this hour. 11 years is a long time to wait. Why have you refused to pay the balance of these individuals?
Thank you so much. First and foremost, the issue of saying that government demolished some structures without payment is not true. We have not demolished any structure without paying. Every single structures that were demolished have been paid for. So if you collected money from government several years ago, and what did you do with that money? Why didn't you use it when cement was at the point, the price of cement was what it was when you got the payment? And you are now asking for upward review. That's not sounding good. Secondly, when we paid compensation to those, after paying compensation, and we demolished the structures that were affected at that time, then there were some outstanding structures which we have not paid for and we have not demolished. You know, along the line, there was a Federal Executive Council decision that every federal government road project, each state where it is domiciled has to provide us with a land, because by Land Use Act, all lands belong to the state. So if we are building a road in your state, give us the right of way. It's a Federal Executive Council decision. So they cannot be asking us now to come and pay. Some governors are already paying.
Hold on, let me get it right.
Yes.
Are you saying that for every property that was demolished in 2010 thereabout, government has paid for it?
Each and every one of them have been paid
But
for.
you and I saw that report.
Yes.
Are those old men, are you saying they don't know what they're saying?
Did you see that there's a lot of division among them?
How do you
Some
mean?
are saying they were paid, that they want upward review. Some are saying they marked, and because they marked, they left. They didn't continue construction.
So you're saying that government at no time did part payment for the compensation?
There is no part payment at all. All that were demolished were fully paid, and they collected, indemnified government. They will have the records.
So apart from honoring this interview, what kind of conversation is ongoing between these aggrieved landowners and the Federal Ministry of Works?
The fact is that they just went to, it's like trying to harass government. They didn't come to us. None of them came to my office. None of them wrote to me. I'm the Federal Controller of Works, Oyo State. None of them. They just went to the press to do what they're doing. Now, if they have come to me, I will have advised them to appropriately that there's a Federal Executive Council decision which says each state where every federal government road project is domiciled as the host has to provide us right of way. So
what year?
We are no longer paying compensation.
What year was this compensation paid?
The last one was paid in 2013.
So is this the first time you're hearing about this grievance on the part of the landowners?
This is the first time I've seen them come to the press, come to the open. Usually, they come through their agents to ask for payment, through their agent for payment, and their agent has been appropriately advised. I mean, we have given them the position of government.
So you're saying that the federal government isn't paying again, but the state government can pay?
Yes.
So they can
And
take
some
their
state governments are
grievances.
paying.
They're taking that. They should take their grievances to the
Yes,
state
to
government.
the state.
But you said you
own
have
the
paid
land.
them. Why would the state government want to pay them again?
No, I told you that those were initially affected, those that were marked initially and compensation paid before this decision of Federal Executive Council. They were paid in 2013, and before they were demolished.
Has that road been fixed now?
The road is a 52-kilometer road. It's a greenfield project, and there's a remobilization. There is a new effort.
In short, it has not been fixed.
The road is a new road. It's ongoing.
So that's over 10 years. I'm just wondering the rush with government to demolish houses when you're not going to fix the road in 10 years.
No. All the areas that were. That's why the demolition were done in phases.
Okay. So the areas that were demolished, the roads
have been fixed.
Kayode Ibrahim is Controller of Works, Federal Ministry of Works and Housing, Oyo State. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.